Aztecs are rolling tonight. 8 runs, 9 hits. We're in the bottom of the 5th. SDSU continuing to bat, and the Rebels turn back to the bullpen. Their 3rd pitcher of the night, 2nd reliever, making his 2nd appearance of the series. Left-hander Jesse Garcia, a senior 6-footer out of Carmichael. Garcia last night worked the last 2 innings of the game, gave up 2 hits and an earned run, struck out 2, walked none. 6-foot, 185-pounder, transferred to UNLV from Sierra College. Makes his 15th appearance tonight, 1-1 with a 5.76 ERA. 25 innings, 30 hits allowed, but a good walk-to-strikeout ratio. He has struck out 21 and walked just 9. Chris Wilson, hungry for a hit. He is 0 for 3 and is the only Aztec tonight not to reach base. Takes a pitch up and in. Now Beresford threw ball 1 to Wilson before being lifted. So the count is 2-0 to Chris, but the hitter is Garcia's. Beresford had thrown 2 balls, then Garcia could have gotten a free walk. Wilson fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Over at Petco Park, Padres are trailing the Marlins 4-1 in the 8th.
That's a quick game.
Well, you had Mark Burley against Clayton Richard. You kind of had to figure.
2 of the fastest pitchers in baseball. Those are 2 of my favorite guys.
Inside and low to Wilson.
I say that all the time.
3-1.
All the time. When Clayton Richard's on the hill, it's a great game. He added Mark Burley, who's even quicker, to that mix. Yikes.
Ground ball foul, and the count runs full to Wilson. Yeah, ball last winter. My goodness, they're struggling as a group. Speaking of struggling, Wilson strikes out and is 0 for 4 tonight. There are now 2 outs in the 5th. Zier at second base for Ryan Muno, who has doubled and singled in each of his last 2 at-bats.
And the strikeout goes to Garcia as Muno stands in there.
3 years, $27 million, guaranteed. Pitches in and low to Muno. 1 ball, no strikes. Last in Major League Baseball.
Got the day off today. A little rest, a little mental break.
Chance to watch the game from the
All right.
game that was. So yeah, it was great pitched against you, buddy. Down low, runners on base. Taking what's offered to them instead of trying to force the issue. Just like that. A fastball outside. Muno not getting froggy. Draws yet another walk for SDSU. 2 on, 2 out. And here's John Spurk.
Point. Because we saw San Diego State not come through in these situations during a streak in which they lost 10 of 13 before the win.
They've scored 3 of their walks tonight and their hit batsmen. And Spurk's ahead in the count 2-0.
It was similar against Long Beach State and then against New Mexico that week.
As Spurk fouls it off, 2 balls, 1 strike. Wilson struck out, Muno walked, and you're up to date. Spurk, high chopper, over third, bare hand by Pletch, he couldn't get it, and it's a single. Now here is Dylan Bryant, who has been afforded the respect of a slugger of a stature that is not his. Ball 1 away. Bryant has walked 3 times. And is ahead in the count here, 1-0. I said before his first at bat, he's a selective hitter. He wanted to prove me right tonight. Swings it, maybe a ball right there. I'll tip off of his bare hand, and he's out of the game. Now Pullen's limping around as Bryant takes a strike and is behind in the count, 1-2.
Complete game for Mark Burley. Help from Clayton Richard, no doubt, but 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Bryant strikes out. And the inning is over 5. He struck out 5. And Cedoroth is in line to even his record at 3-3. Left-hander Jesse Garcia out of the UNLV bullpen. His first pitch to Romansky is high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Jake has a pair of singles tonight, an RBI, a run scored. Also flied out to right field. Shoots this one down the right field line, but foul. Off the roof of the equipment shed. Aztecs trailed after 1 inning, 1-0. They've not looked back since. 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and 3 more in the fifth. As Romanski fouls it off. UNLV just got 1 back here in the top of the 6th inning. Interestingly enough, pitcher has sat down now in the Aztecs bullpen, and left-hander Mitch Blumen is starting to warm up. Outside to Romanski, 2-2. So with a pair of left-handed batters coming up to start the 7th inning for UNLV, and Joey Swanner and Mark Shannon, looks like Blumen will get the call to start the 7th. Soft breaking ball. Garcia tried to backdoor strike 3, didn't get the call, and the count runs full to Romanski. Fly out to right field. Routine. And 1 out in the 6th.
Of the power hitter shift on, but it was to the right side.
Here's Steven Polaris trying to bunt for his 2nd base hit of the night. Steven is 2 for 2 with a walk. He had a bases loaded RBI walk in the 2nd, a bunt single in the 3rd, and a flare single inside the right field line to get the 5th inning going. Has scored a run and driven in a run. One of his best offensive nights of the year. Fouls this one off. No balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Doran will throw tomorrow for SDSU with a 3-4 record. Buddy Borden, who used to be the Friday night starter for the Rebels, he's been moved back into the Sunday role. He's a hard thrower, but a 1-4 record, 4.30 ERA. He will toe the rubber for UNLV tomorrow. Been a tough year for Rebels baseball. Breaking ball bends around the plate outside, and it's 2-2 to Polaris. Of course, interestingly enough, we talk about a tough year for UNLV baseball, but the Rebels come in with the same win-loss record as the Aztecs. Polaris swings and misses, strike 3. Both teams 21-26, playing their 48th game of the year tonight. The difference, of course, being in conference play, where UNLV is in last at 5-14 and in danger of going to 5-15 tonight, while the Aztecs are 10-9 and winning.
And again, UNLV is hosting the conference tournament this year, but only the top 4 teams in the conference go.
2 out, nobody on for Greg Allen, who's had a busy night in right field. Ball 1. Allen flied out in the 1st, had a sac fly in the 2nd for an RBI. 2-run single in the 3rd, was hit by a pitch in the 5th and came around to score. So he's driven in 3, he has scored 1. Every Aztec in the lineup has at least reached base once. Every Aztec but Potter and Wilson has scored tonight.
It's been a patient approach, a productive one for the Aztecs, who've been given a lot of this.
Strike on the inside half. Very interesting how the Aztecs are late in the year bringing in the pitching side of the Greg Allen repertoire. And Allen takes up high. We were talking with Coach Valenzuela about it last night. We saw in a 3-run game, Allen warming up in between innings, in between the 8th and 9th in the Aztecs bullpen. Then he took his position in right field. Punches one into the gap. This is going to be a tough play. No one's going to make it. A base hit for Allen, and he's going to try and leg out a double. Here's the throw to second. A good speed, and Greg is in there. Here's Evan Potter. Foul tip at the plate. Evan walked, struck out, flied out, sacrificed. Looking for a hit. Out of Grossmont High School. Steady glove man at short, but he's lost his everyday job to Matt Munoz. There goes Allen on a stutter step to third base, and he's going to steal it. Allen stole third, even though he stutter stepped in between second and third as the pitch was being delivered. Still third base. And Potter waves and misses to end the inning. The 2-out double was fun, so was the steal. We'll go to the 7th, and the Aztecs are singing a 9-2 win.